The Braves a strike away from advancing, a half swing, and they'll go to Cincinnati for the National League Championship Series.
Game over, series over, and the Red Sox are world champs again. The 2-2, and Tulowitzki is down on strikes. Brad Lynch does it again, and the Philadelphia Phillies are headed to the NLCS. To second. Ball game.
Is the last guy between the Brewers and a sweep. He lifts one into right. Kane and Broxton, it'll be Kane, and that's that.
Hey Andrew, this is Dick Monfort here with the Colorado Rockies, calling because I've seen your work in the past. I was wondering if you wanted to take the role of the general manager for the Colorado Rockies for a couple of seasons.
Here we are in franchise. The first thing we went to do is go to the contract extensions and extend Nolan Jones. He's obviously the Rockies' best player, and we gave him a pretty good contract, I think. Very beneficial for the organization. It was about $13 million over 4 years, so it's about $3.2 million every season. So that's very good for the AAV. I mean, if you look at it long term. So that was the first decision we decided to make with this Colorado Rockies franchise. I think it's a pretty good one. The Rockies do have a decent amount of money to spend as well, which is very exciting. The next thing we want to do is sign Jordan Montgomery and J.D Martinez, because I'm currently starting this in spring training. So these guys were not signed at the start of spring training. So it's technically open game in my opinion. And we are using those current rosters for this franchise. So Jordan Montgomery, I gave him a $10 million contract over 3 seasons. I'm thinking if he has some good, he pitches some good games, he's got some good trade bait. We could definitely use him to trade a lot. J.D. Martinez, I signed him to a 1-year, $11 million contract. He is definitely probably going to get traded before the end of the season, in my opinion. The coaches and scouting contracts I didn't touch. But I'm just gonna let them run out. We're just gonna roll with the punches on those ones. I don't really want to fire them, to be honest, and I don't really want to get new ones right now. So I think we're just gonna roll with the punches because we're playing as the Rockies right now. So that's kind of our punishment, I would say. And then Brian Dodo was another player that I thought was pretty solid as well, and I wanted to give him a nice contract extension. He's currently got that A potential, 25 years old in center field. Definitely could be a very solid player. So I decided to give him a 2-year extension right here. I thought 2 years was going to be good to see. I can see where he's at when he's 27 years old. Able to sign him for pretty cheap. I think it was about $770K right there. So pretty solid across the board. And, this is kind of the lineup we're going to be running with throughout this season. Yeah, I think it's got a pretty simple lineup with Martinez probably as the full-time DH. And then all the guys on this roster probably hitting with their best side with righties or lefties. Another thing that did happen simming through the first month of April is J.D. Martinez did win Player of the Month. He batted absolutely insane throughout that first month of April. 396, 8 home runs, and 20 RBIs. Pretty solid throughout the board. So definitely a great signing for the Rockies on this one. So we have simmed pretty much past June. We're on June 2nd right now is the date. Currently 25-32 in this 2024 season. We're actually going to sim to the draft date and then do the draft. I just kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit about my strategy with this team, because I think it's definitely going to be pretty interesting. At least in 2024, this squad is not going to be good. It's pretty much plain and simple. We're not going to be a good team this year, but I'm trying to put this team up for success in the future with signing a guy like J.D. Martinez, who's been hitting pretty well, as you guys can see. A couple of these guys have been playing okay, decently, but yeah, that's what we're trying to do at least right now. And another thing quickly I want to say, there are these critical situations, as we can see, keep popping up that are really annoying, and I wish you could just turn them off, but I'm not going to be doing any of those. I think that's pretty dumb in my opinion to currently do that. We currently get this trade from the Padres, which is very interesting. Ethan Salas for J.D. Martinez. Now we do know that this J.D. Martinez has been playing extremely well for us. 324, I definitely do want to trade him, like I said. The Padres are giving us Ethan Salas, who's definitely a solid catcher, as we know, currently in that AAA. He's been pretty okay, but this is definitely a solid trade. I think I am going to take this trade. I think it's pretty solid. I mean, this kid's 18. We look at our catching right now, and we don't really have many good catchers, to be honest. We have Drew Romo, but we're not really seeing a whole lot with him. He's definitely playing okay. But I mean, I think Ethan Salas is definitely he's already got better overall, and he's younger. And we do have Diaz a little bit, who's been playing pretty decently, as you can see this season with that average. But I definitely think Salas could definitely be the guy to lead our team forward, and Stallings hasn't really been good at all this season. So definitely going to take this contract. I think it's going to suck to have J.D. Martinez gone, but I definitely think this is a solid trade from the Padres to be able to get him. And with the scouting, I've been just kind of scouting the best guys currently. that we have. So this is my kind of scouting strategy, I guess you could say, on this front. With J.D Martinez gone, we do need a new DH. So I think it's Stylus's time to see what he can do. He's currently batting 222 with the Padres. We'll see if we can kind of improve him in this DH role. I'm going to wait and see if he's still struggling. We'll definitely take him out and put someone else in. But yeah, I think the Rockies, we're looking okay. I think we're looking okay so far. Really good signing that we made early on in that offseason to actually get J.D Martinez, though. We have another quick update as Brian Dodal is injured. He said he's maybe up to 2 to 3 months. We do have Chris Bryant back in our lineup again. So yeah, definitely the injuries are definitely going to be kicking us right now. Definitely not the best. Looks like Sean's going to have to come in and play that role right now on our bench. So, not the guy we wanted to have out of the roster, but you got to roll with the punches. We only have 2 guys that are actually, or 3 guys that could currently play on our bench, which is definitely a little scary with all these injuries. We got a pretty big trade right here. Bobby Witt Jr. gets traded to the Red Sox from the Royals. That's pretty interesting. They get Kyle Teal, the first-round draft pick from last year. So pretty interesting trade right there. We just got to see what our draft day is going to look like, because our scouting definitely been pretty questionable, I think. I'm not really confident in this. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna continue with this and kind of see how we go. I think taking a look at these are all the players that we have scouted currently in this draft. I think the best, our first round pick, I really like Cash Hall. I mean, he looks really solid. He's healthy. His average injury risk, he's got 50% to sign with the squad. And these stats are absolutely incredible. I mean, those are just good stats in general. The fielding stats aren't the best, but he's a first baseman, so it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, I wasn't really confident in our squad, in our draft potential. This kid looks maybe pretty good. We have some pretty decent players I think we could end up getting, but I don't think we're gonna have the craziest draft we've ever had. This kid's also pretty good as well for center field. Yeah, definitely an interesting draft. Let's get into it. All right, here we go. We're gonna start the draft off. The first round pick is going to go to the Cleveland Guardians. They're gonna get this guy. He was number 5th on our board, so didn't really lose a whole lot there. Next pick gonna be right here, number 2 in the draft. Who are they gonna pick? It is going to be this kid. He was number 12th on our list. We did scout him a little bit, so we are gonna get our player. I'm definitely gonna take Cash Hall. I do think he's gonna be our guy at first base. 18 years old from high school. I mean, he just got solid stats overall, and he is, I think, are gonna be our guy. The number 3 overall pick, the Colorado Rockies select Cash Hall, first baseman from whatever high school he goes to. That's our guy. Looks pretty solid overall. So definitely excited with that pick. So when I like to do these franchises, I really like to get a really good hitting core. I think any hitting core can just dominate across any time, really, and then you kind of work on that pitching after. So that's what my main focus is with this Rocky squad, because you look at them in the past, they've really focused on pitching because they really struggle to pitch here, but it hasn't really worked out. We've seen this over the last couple years. It hasn't really worked out for them. We're going to see what their current rebuild in real life is, but with my rebuild, I'm going to be focusing on a lot of hitters. So that's kind of why I got a couple of pitchers in here as well, but definitely going to be focusing on my hitters, I think, and trying to build up a great hitting core and then try to sign some good offseason talent, at least for the pitching. And then, with future drafts, maybe we'll get more pitchers, but for right now, we're going to be focusing on those position players. Ooh, Bobby Harden and Conrad Castillo both on our draft board. Kind of unfortunate. Let's see, trying to get those guys, but I think we're going to go with Donovan right here. Definitely a solid player across the board. Really good center fielder. And according to the other guys we have, I think he's going to be the best player. So we're going to pick him with our 37th pick right there. He's still a high school player. So definitely feeling confident about that one as we go to our next pick. I think on our next pick, we're going to go with Travis Brennan. I think that, or Travis Brandell, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Currently a relief pitcher. I just really like that hits per 9. And if he can get those strikeouts and those Ks up, he could definitely be a solid player. So I think we're going to take him with our 3rd round pick, or 2nd round pick. Should be a solid player. But yeah, it's kind of hard because we haven't scouted many guys that I think about it. And I think we're just going to go based off potential. So why not? We're just going to draft Dylan Allen right here. Based off potential, we're going to try to get some more pitchers, I think, in these drafts. And with our next pick, we're going to select this relief pitcher right here. Looks pretty good. We're going to see, what he actually is. But, the natty potential could be good out of the bullpen. I don't know if this is a glitch, but there's literally no one to draft except for these 2 players. Like, I was really going through and I couldn't find anyone. So I guess I'm going to draft one of these guys because I don't know if that's a glitch where there's just not many players left. But there was literally no one in there to even get. If I take a look through, obviously now there's more players, but when I looked through the first time, there was literally no one in there. I don't know if that's a glitch because now there's some players. So I gotta be honest, I love this kid's mustache, so I probably gotta draft him just based off that. His stats could get up there in that 88 range, so not horrible with our last pick of the draft at 170. So that concludes our draft right there. and we have until August 1st to sign these players. You know, pretty good draft. Glad with our first round pick across the board. I do think, you know, have made some good steps. I'm pretty much going to run it by the kind of order we kind of picked them in, to be honest, because I think that is, you know, probably what we're going to do. So Cash Hall right here, obviously, really good player. I mean, we could just tell he's currently demanding that $6.3 million. And we have about $16 million to spend. So if we take a look at our guys, we might be able to sign all these guys. I'm just gonna run the numbers and see if we can actually do it. So Cash Hall is probably gonna be our most prospect. So I'm gonna go with about an $8 million kind of signing bonus on this one. I'm thinking around the 7.9 mark. Coming in with a little voiceover here, I thought it said declined instead of decided, so that's why I look kind of mad in some of these clips. I just wanted to clarify that. All right, so we're going to sign our first 2 draft picks right there, looking pretty solid across the board. And there we go. He ends up signing. We give him a little extra. There we go. Our 4th round pick, we're going to give him a little bit extra, and he's going to sign. We're going to offer him about, let's go $500K, see if he decides to sign. Yes, he does. So there we go. He is on the board. We don't have any other picks. Just these 2 guys left. So the remaining money, I mean, I guess we could offer him about like, let's go about 2.20 mil more than he wants. He's decided to sign with the Colorado Rockies right there on that aspect. And Kyle Freeman gets injured, so that is not exciting at all. Let's just offer him about some more money with 70%. Let's go 800K just so he signs. There we go. Probably way more than we probably should have. But yeah, definitely exciting on that. We get all of our draft picks to sign. So that's what we want to see. I think that's where we're going to end this episode. We get through halfway through this season with some pretty good talent signed to on our team. Really like what we've done so far with this Rocky squad. And we can have even more some contract extensions to talk about maybe on the next episode. Like I said, on this one, we signed all our picks. You know, we're able to get this team pretty solid. We made some good trades with Ethan Salas. I really like that trade for J.D Martinez. We're currently 4th in the division, so we're not last. You know, that's what we'd like to see in Colorado. We're finally not last in something. So it's very exciting to see. We are still the 28th squad after removing J.D. Martinez. So that is kind of tough, not going to lie. But if you guys enjoyed the first episode of our Rockies franchise, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. We're definitely going to be doing a lot more of these. I might stream these as well. We're going to wait and see on that, though. But if you guys do enjoy this, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.